Do you guys like awesome fish rooms? Well, if you do, stay tuned, because we're about to check out a really awesome fish room.
Get the old ones out your brain. Yeah, you gotta write a new love song to get the old ones out your brain.
And I think I got one. Yeah, and I think I got one.
What is up, y'all? We're here with Blake from riftcichlids.com. He has agreed to show us his awesome fish room, and that is what we're about to do right now. Hopefully you enjoy. All right, Blake, what do we got going on in this tank up here?
Well, those are Samazi Frontosa. Obviously a purple species, kind of get that really brilliant electric blue on them. But those are locally raised and actually beautiful fish. We've got some of the larger ones. We've got a couple of different batches here, but these guys are doing really great. Very nice.
All right, what do we got going on in the next tank over here?
So these are the Mapimbuis. They call those the kind of the dogs of the Frontosas. So those actually, they have really good personalities, but they're pretty small. Those came in from wholesale, but we're doing a grow out on them, so they get good color before we ship them out.
Sweet. Looks like we got an empty tank.
Yeah,
here.
empty tank. That one's waiting to be filled.
Yeah. And then what do we got going on over here?
So these are a white lip hap. These are our grow out. We've got a little dolphin in there too. So I've got 3 stages of grow outs on the white lip haps. So actually we hatched those out, and this is our bubbler here. Actually to get these guys going. So that's what we've got right there. And those are I think we're a couple of months into those guys right now. But
nice. All right, so what do we got going on down here?
This is all kind of redundant. We got a little bit of grow out here, and we got some quarantine as well, so nothing too exciting down here.
All right, sounds good. All right, Blake, what do we got going on in this tank up here?
So, well, the 3 big ones with the stripes, obviously, those are Frontosas, those are Burundis. So the Burundis are actually from the northernmost part of Lake Tanganyika. They're not a deep water species, but they're the most common ones that you'll see. But anyways, these came in from wholesale. Great black and white color, but really the ones that are in here that are really special, the threadfin Acaras. These are beautiful Acaras. They actually get a rooster tail that comes off the dorsals with red, and they've got that sort of Acara personality. So they're not too aggressive. They go with a lot of different species. They can definitely hang with the Africans, especially the Frontosas. Maybe not some of the Victorian, well, not necessarily Victorian, but some of the other species. But these are good fish to mix in with real mellow species like Frontosa.
Very awesome. All right, what do we got going on down here?
So we've got some Tropheus from Lake Tanganyika. This is the Bemba, so it's the orange flame. If you see a couple of these guys are starting to get their adult colors going in here. They get that dark orange band right through the middle and then black on each side. Great personality.
These are very nice. All right. What do we got going on down there in the bottom?
Down here we got some OBs. Call it an orange blotch peacock, and then we've got some Textilius. So nothing too exciting about these guys. Pretty run-of-the-mill, but also good color variations. You notice the Textilius kind of have this orange, and they get to this blue when they become adults.
Very nice. All right. What do we got going up here?
So these are Leilupi. There's a couple of different variations of Leilupi. These are from Lake Tanganyika. These are actually what we call the firecracker or the bright orange. If you notice, they've got more of an orange tint to them instead of a yellow. So these are hard to come by sometimes, but great personality, cave spawner, go with most Africans. Obviously something that they can't be fit, you know, obviously something that can't eat them is what you need to stay away from. But those go great in a community tank. They kind of keep to themselves.
Awesome. All right, what do we got going on down here?
So we've got peacocks going in here, and then a different version of the Leilupi. So these are the yellow Leilupis, and then you got some German reds in here. So these are a line-bred peacock. These are starting to color out here. You notice the camo pattern on their fins, and they start to get that red-orange coloration on them.
Very, very nice, man. All right, what do we got going on down here?
So these are Bouchardi daffodils. These are a little bit different. They're really a poulture, but there's some questions on whether or not it's really a different species. But these get a little bit different. They get a little bit of orange on them typically, and they get those long fins. They call them the fairy cichlid.
Very awesome. Cool. All right, Blake, what do we got going up here in this tank up here?
So this is a Lake Victorian species called the Nyeri. It's actually one of my most favorites. They have really good personalities. They go with about everything, and the colors are just beautiful. They get a green, a kind of a yellow, and an orange to them. We got a couple of males that are starting to color here. You see these little dark lines on those guys? A couple here. So they'll get this beautiful rainbow color on them. Here's a really pretty one over here. Actually, we're just getting started. But they have really good personality. They kind of watch you. They'll watch you when you come to the tank.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, for an African, it's kind of different.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, what do we got going on down here?
So we've got yellow labs, and actually these are Lacoma Island Textilius, I think it is. Actually, these are, you know, I take that back. These are Lacoma Island elongatus.
Oh, okay.
So these basically will go to the male back here, you see with the dark blue starting with the black, and they get those bars right across their eyes that really iridescent. So that'll actually continue. They'll get more darker in color, but when they're juveniles, they're white, and then they turn into this blue with the bars.
Wow.
And then we've also got some rusties in there, and also some yellow labs. Pretty standard stuff.
Very awesome. All right, what do we got going on down here?
So this is another Lake Tanganyika species. These are the Kaiser 2s, or they call them the Acaras. It's a Tropheus species, a little bit different than the Bembas, but typically you don't want to blend those. You do a batch of Acaras or Bembas or whatever that might be. But great personality from a Tanganyikan species, but a little bit more advanced.
Very
We've
awesome.
also got some catfish in there.
Yeah, I
too.
see that. There's a little catfish.
Yeah,
in
there's
there.
a couple of guys in there. We'll show you more of those guys, but they're hiding there.
Yeah.
So those are the Synodontis petricola. Those were all locally raised, and we keep quite a few of those. We really like those. They're great in the tanks. They get along with almost everything. They pretty much keep to themselves, and they're a great community tank. Great for a community tank.
Really cool. All right, what do we got going on up here?
So nothing too exciting in here. I got some cherry zebras, and then we've got some ollies. One thing to point out is we've got two different versions of the ollies, and this is one of our locally raised ones here. He's got a little bit different color pattern. He's got a little bit more yellow on his tail, and his color's a little bit darker. So we've got a couple of different versions of those, but nothing too exciting in that tank.
Alrighty, what do we got going on down here?
So these actually tanks are all grow out. So typically what we'll do is we'll put them into the 40, and then we'll put them into these 75s to hold them until we sell them. So
Gotcha.
We've got red top zebras in here, pretty standard, and we've got some actually female, maybe a couple of male sunburst Alunacara mixed in there. Also got some more peacocks, or excuse me, some more catfish in there.
Right. All right. So what do we got going
Some
on?
super reds actually.
Oh, there are some super reds in there. We got a Pleco here. Whoa. All right. What do we got going on down here?
So another one of our grow outs. These are our OBs. One thing to note in this tank actually are the Rostratus. So this is what they call the Malawi sand diver. Those guys get really big open water hap. Very pretty. Get a very blue, sort of shimmering electric blue to them, a little bit kind of a rainbow color on them. They're stunning. It takes a little bit for them to color up. Those are actually locally raised. But here's a good example of the locally raised ollie in the dark color pattern.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little bit dark purple instead of the blue. I don't have another one to show you as an example, but the other ones would be a little bit lighter. But we love our locally bred ollies.
Very nice. All right, what do we got going on up here?
So we've got some dolphins and a CEI. So these are all locally raised. So this is a grow out tank, but if you notice the dolphins, they get that blue and they get kind of a lip pattern on them. It's a little bit different looking. Those are very popular with the African cichlid folks. They pretty much go with anything. They're a pretty big hap. They get to be good size. And they will school. The CEI are pretty common, see those pretty frequently, but they're a great starter fish.
Awesome. All right, what do we got going on down here?
So these are the Nyasi Alunacara. So these are, we call them the Emperor Alunacara. So essentially these are the males. I got a couple of females in there as well, but they get that brilliant blue on their nose, they get the white outline on their dorsal, and then they get a little bit of red typically in that shoulder area. It's not a red shoulder, a little bit different than a red shoulder peacock. These have a different color pattern.
Very nice.
We've also got a lot of petricola.
Yeah, we got a lot of catfish
and we got
up in there.
Yeah, we got a few Plecos in there as well.
in there too.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. All right, what do we got going on down here?
So a couple things to point out in here is, and they're not colored up right now, which is unfortunate because they're beautiful fish. So these fish right here are the Coptodon bithobates. They're from Lake Burman in Africa, and so volcanic lake, water quality is really terrible there. Typically those fish have a green kind of back and a red lower belly. We got a lot of dither fish in there, so they haven't had a chance to kind of color up for spawning. The other thing notable in there is the Synodontis multipunctatus. We've got quite a few in there. That's something that we love catfish. So again, we keep quite a few of those. They're hard to find in these larger sizes like this, but great tank mates for almost anything African.
Very awesome. All right, Blake, what do we got over here?
So we got a couple things in here. We've got actually some of the larger Petricola here, the adults. So this is kind of where we move the larger ones into, and we've got a little bit of an area, holding area for them. They like being in the rocks. So two fish that are notable in here is the Dimitochromis compressiceps, which are these guys here. They're actually called the Malawi eye biter. Those get beautiful when they get big. They get a beautiful electric blue on them, and they get some red on their fins, which is a really nice contrast. The other ones that are in here are the Protomeles steveni. If you notice, our spawn, or our line bred actually has a purple color to the head, and they get a lot of red usually in their lower fins, which is a little bit different than what you see. So those are a beautiful fish.
Very nice.
The other one I want to show you down here is these are the Pelenii from Madagascar. So two versions of these, the bleaker eye and the Pelenii. These guys are called the Starry Night cichlid, but they've got a really unique personality, and they've got a beautiful coloration when they get large. They'll have that dark black background. They'll have either gold or bluish spots on them, and they're beautiful. They can hang with most of the Africans with no issue. And like I said, great personality. They have a little bit of a, well, they'll come look at you, they'll hold, they'll you know, flex their fins, and then they take off.
Awesome. Yeah, these are really worth looking up because they really do look cool when they're full grown.
We've also got some really awesome albino Plecos in there.
Yeah, I see that. Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
So what'd you guys think? Blake not only has a fish room at his house, but he also has a website called riftcichlids.com, and he also owns the LFS that you're going to see in the next video, and he allowed me to go over there and meet up with Priscilla, who is the manager at that LFS, and he's a really busy guy, and so is Priscilla. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed his fish room. He's got a lot of really cool things, and in some upcoming videos you may or may not see some things that I did bring home from there. Anyhow, we had a really good time. I really enjoyed myself, and hopefully you did too. If you guys like videos like this, I have playlists that have fish room tours in it. Go back and check that out if you're new to my channel, and if you like, maybe consider subscribing while you're at it. Otherwise, thanks for coming along on today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, y'all.
And I think I got one. Yeah, and I think I got one. Yeah, I got one. And I think I got one.
Sometimes you gotta write a new love song to get the old ones out your brain. Yeah, you gotta write a new love song to get the old ones out.